73 AD, 3967 AM. The last stronghold of the Zealots, 960 men, commit suicide. The Romans besieged their stronghold, and at Passover, rather than suffering their women to be raped and sold into slavery, with their children and themselves dying by execution and crucifixion, the entire Zealot community in Judea committed suicide. 1. The Jesus Papers. 76 AD, 3970 AM. In this year the Saka calendar of India begins, the Saka being the eastern designation for the house of Isaac, Beth Sak, that populated and overlorded the lands of Persia and eastward into northern India. This calendar marked the beginning of the Saka dynasty of India, connected in time to the beginning of the Israelite dynasty of the Danaan over Mycenae in 1255 BC, which began 1332 years before 76 AD. This year was the 660th since the fall of Judah in 585 BC. This year marked the end of the 8th Mayan Baktun of 144,000 days, since the start of the Mayan long count in 3113 BC, this being 1,152,000 days completed, or 144,000 times 8. Under the original 360-day year system prior to 713 BC, the Baktuns were exactly 400 years, but with the alteration of the year to 365.25 days, the Baktuns were now 394.5 years, 144,000 days. Additionally, the dark satellite passed through the inner solar system, close to Earth on its 395-year orbit. Pliny relates that a bright object was seen like a javelin in the sky over Italy, seen by Titus. It was regarded as an omen of doom. This year was the 828th year of Rome, this being 414 plus 414 years, a calendrical system having its origin with phoenix orbits of 138 years each. This year began a 476 year, fall of Rome in 476 AD, countdown to the year 552 AD. The phoenix cycle is 552 years, when the European Huns would invade India. 1. Pliny, Natural History, Universe and the World. 79 AD, 3973 AM. Mount Vesuvius in Italy erupts violently, and the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum are buried in pumice and ash. Thousands and thousands of people suffocated and buried alive. Later all of this would harden and become a newer surface. These were Roman luxury resort cities with retreats, expansive baths, spas, pools and brothels. Archaeologists have excavated beautiful frescoes on the walls of buried structures that exhibit lithe and beautiful women wearing modern-style bikinis, some women with blonde hair. Other artistic depictions are sexually explicit of lewd acts or posing in provocative postures. These people who were buried alive had no idea that their own cities were built upon a former civilization that had also met the same fate, volcanic burial, in 1687 BC. The famous historian Pliny the Elder sailed toward the destruction when he received word that a female friend of his had called for his assistance on getting out of the area. Pliny died in the attempt. His renowned book Natural History is internationally esteemed. His source materials including 147 Roman and 327 foreign authors of other works he cites. Throughout his writing he refers back to Trojan times, admitting the origin of the Roman people. Pliny wrote in Natural History that the world experiences, quote, ominous and long drawn-out eclipses of the sun, unquote, and that, quote, their cause was hidden by the rarity of their occurrence, and for this reason they are not understood, unquote. He wrote that these strange darkenings of the sun were quite natural, and that they transpire at fixed times. Pliny here was referring to planet Phoenix, his source materials no doubt dating back through history to times when there was a more accurate knowledge of the phenomenon. 1. Lost cities of Atlantis, ancient Europe and the Mediterranean. 2. Secret cities of old South America. 3. The antediluvian world. 4. Pliny Natural History, Universe and the World. 81 AD, 3975 AM. The Colosseum in Rome is finished, a marvel of architectural engineering. During the celebration of its opening, 5,000 animals died in a single day, pitted against each other, against armed slaves and against gladiators. Countless many people would meet horrific fates in this colossal structure for the next few centuries, all for the entertainment of the Roman people. Much of the Colosseum still stands today, over 1930 years later. 86 AD, 3980 AM. By this date, the British had fought the invading Romans in 60 major battles, and still Rome had not subdued as much of Britain as they wanted. No nation had ever withstood Rome so mightily. 94 AD, 3988 AM. Flavius Josephus completed his celebrated Antiquities of the Jews, a true mine of antiquarian knowledge. 1. History of the Christian religion to the year 200.